5 years ago to the day, the UK officially left the European Union, and this marks, and will probably always mark, one of the biggest political revolts and changes we will ever see in British politics. Undeniably, and for right or wrong, or possibly for good or for bad, the UK now holds the constitutional right to govern itself and make its own laws. I would actually contend this constitutional change has, particularly in foreign policy terms, allowed the UK to stand taller than it ever has. Whether you agree with it or not, the UK has, since Brexit, taken the lead on the COVID vaccine rollout, whilst avoiding many of the COVID bailouts we saw in the European Union, and has also managed to take the lead in giving aid to Ukraine instead of being part of the multilateral EU aid package towards Ukraine. The AUKUS deal, the AUKUS nuclear submarine deal, and our ability now to agree and arrange sectoral free trade agreements with the new President Trump administration is something that would not have been possible inside the European Union. But more importantly, on matters concerning the economy, the reasonable expectation of the Brexit voting British public has largely been ignored. That is the reasonable expectation that immigration numbers would be cut, we would move to a more high-skill, high-wage economy with selected skilled migration, was completely ignored and actually used by the Conservatives in successive manifestos for their own political gain. They lied to the electorate, and they have done for multiple times. The second reasonable expectation was that life for business owners, small and medium-sized business owners, would generally get easier. Regulations would be cut. We would move to a more Singapore-on-Thames style model of low regulation, high skill, high wage. That has also been ignored, and generally life for business owners has become more difficult and burdensome, particularly under Rachel Reeves' direction. All of this leads me to believe, and my thoughts here are largely directed towards the Conservative administrations, which, as I said, since 2010 lied in successive times to the British public. It leads me to believe that many of the policymakers in power and many of those responsible for the handling of Brexit and policy making after Brexit never actually believed in it. Despite what they said, I really do feel now they used Brexit for their own political gain, not to deliver for the British people.